the network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
This is AV.
This
is AVNation.
This is AVNation.
This is Tim Albright with AVNation with the AVNation Reader's Choice Awards for 2022. With me and joining me is my good friend, Mr. Matt D. Scott. Welcome, sir.
Hey, Tim. How you doing, bud? Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
It's been a minute.
It has 3 years, 7 hours, and 24 days, now that I'm keeping count.
Sounds like you are.
No, not at all.
No.
How are the Cowboys doing this week? Yeah, I miss you too.
They made the playoffs, unlike the Bears, so we got that going for us.
Yes, but Dak Prescott did get an award.
He
named
did.
After a bear.
Not named after him. Yes.
Named after a bear. It is the Peyton Manning. Peyton Walter Peyton.
Oh, we should keep all of this in because this is fantastic.
We have to keep all of this. Oh my God. All right. Yes, I understand we are a month and a half into 2023, but what we do is at the end of the year, we say, hey, what was so awesome about this past year? So we're recording this and releasing this in 2023, but we are absolutely talking about the last 12 months of the year. Matt, what anything surprised you about 2022 in general, not the awards?
In general,
as far as the AV industry goes.
In the AV industry, probably the biggest thing was the decline of voice control as an option, and then the resurgence of it. Probably the biggest thing that I don't think it's shown a ton of promise or application yet, but is the resurgence and the buildup of AI. The power of things like ChatGPT and all that is going to revolutionize every industry, including ours. I don't think you can overlook what that's going to do. Beyond that, networks continue to just get faster, better, stronger. And we will continue to see more and more applications going over the network that, again, will change the way that we do business.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will 100% agree with you on the ChatGPT and the network part. If you caught the Super Bowl that we talked about here at the beginning, that entire system was ran over AV over IP, right? So the fact that a high-profile event like that was run on AV over IP just kind of talks to the maturity of that technology and talks to the level of confidence the technicians have for that. So
what was surprising to me, again, not to derail this entire conversation, was it was run over AV over IP, but it was only shot in 1080. There was no 4K. There was no 8K.
But there was cameras that were the cameras. The ingestion was 8K, but you're right. The broadcast was
still 1080p. So as much as we continue to talk about the progression and the movement towards super high resolutions as far as 4K, 8K, etc., you're still watching the biggest event in North America. Don't come at me, soccer fans or football fans in Europe, but the biggest event in North America, and it was still only 1080. Winning.
In 3.5 years, just for the record, the biggest event in the world will be in North America.
North America. Thank you for not just making it America. We've got some games coming up here and in Mexico.
Has 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
No one will get tickets to it, but it'll be fun.
There's a site, Kansas City, where I'm 4 hours away from Kansas City. Our buddy Joe Way, there's one right there in Southern California. So there are a number of AV tweeps that can go watch the World Cup if they.
Yeah. Kansas City, home of future Hall of Famer Pat Mahomes.
Yes, who was picked after Mitchell Trubisky, who was a Bear. All right. AVNation Reader's Choice Awards 2022. This is it. This is the final round. First, exciting for bid is the best audio processor for 2022. Up for the honors Shure IPMX against Audinate. Mr. Scott, who got the most votes on that one?
In not really a huge surprise, Audinate won this category again. A wonderful product. Not to put anything against that fantastic Shure product as well, but it won in honestly a bit of a landslide. So that was kind of surprising to me. I thought it was going to be a little closer, but it was around 82% almost voted for Audinate. Again, remember these are readers' choice. This is what our viewers select as their favorites. So
absolutely.
fantastic.
And
Congratulations to AVNation.
Is both of them are software based, right? Processors. So that is
shocking software.
So best control system of 2022. This is Extron's control system versus Aurora's control system. Mr. Scott, who is the winner this year?
The winner this year was Extron. They beat Aurora. Again, both great platforms, both platforms that were able to ship a lot of product, which probably helped with this vote. But again, what round is this? Third round, fourth round? I always forget.
Third round.
Third round, yes. Not surprising, but again, there's some names that didn't make it to this round that typically we would have thought would have been there. But again, it's amazing to see what Extron's been able to do from a control standpoint the last couple of years. So congratulations to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Best video wall product, the best video wall product for 2022. This one came down to Chief for their TiLED mounting system, as well as Extron for their video processing system. So, Mr. Scott, what do we have here?
Another great win for Extron in this category. Again, that Chief product is fantastic, but Extron pulled away. This one was a little bit of a tighter race, but again, Extron did a fantastic job with their video wall product, and the AV Tweet community, the AVNation community, voted in favor of them. So congratulations to Extron again.
One of the things that has really intrigued me the last probably 5 years, and that's projection mapping and the use of projectors. Now, 20 years ago, projectors is how you would get a 100-inch plus display, whether it's a classroom or a conference room. But now, projectors are fighting, quite frankly, against DV-LED and other display technologies. But there are a number of applications where projector 100% makes sense, so we keep the best projector of the year in that for that very reason. This year, it was Epson Pro Laser versus the Panasonic RZ series. Very tight race, Mr. Scott.
Very tight race.
Who pulled it out for this one?
I was very excited to see Panasonic pull away with this one. And again, just personal side, we've been using Panasonic for years in House of Worship, and they had a couple years where they were not as specified. So it's great to see Panasonic pull out a win here. Again, the Epson is a great product as well. But to your point, Tim, projectors continue to be that product that is seemingly fighting attacks from all sides, but continues to be needed, continues to be spec'd. I know we still use them a ton in House of Worship and even in education and business spaces. They are that very versatile product that is not dead yet.
I'm not dead yet.
I'm not dead yet. This is what people come to hear.
Yeah, there's two competing categories here, and we actually had a couple manufacturers email us and say, hey, we don't think that this is, you should have just one of these, and that is the best AV signal distribution and the best AV over IP technology. The reason that we keep both of these kind of separate is there are still hardware and still cable-based, copper-based distribution systems. There are still switchers out there, video, the traditional AV video switchers. So that's kind of why we keep this. But based on the results, we may have to eliminate that. So the best audio video signal distribution, Dante versus Extron Nav, both of them software-based, really AV over IP systems. But Mr. Scott, who pulled off this one?
Dante pulled this one off again, and in a fairly strong fashion. 70 to 30% of the vote went to Dante. So congratulations to Dante. Again, for a long time, this was considered just an audio platform, and the move into video has really progressed that. And again, obviously we're going to have the AV over IP category next, but signal distribution of audio and video has become massive.
Yeah, and it is 100% going on the network, which is where our next category comes in. AV over IP, the best AV over IP. Dante Studio is up again against Aurora Multimedia. Mr. Scott, who pulls off this one?
Dante Studio with another win, back-to-back wins in the kind of networked AV category. Huge for Dante, and this one wasn't that close.
No,
Dante kind of kicked butt in this one, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, Tim, but Dante's the first to this market. They've been at it, I believe, the longest, and they've got the largest proliferation of products out there that they support. So fantastic
Absolutely.
to see them win this one. I think what we're going to have to add, if we combine these two categories, we're going to have to add a network category into this.
Oh,
Networking products. Yeah. Because again,
interesting.
we're seeing more and more integrators that when they can, they will control the network. Definitely in residential, but as well in a lot of SMB clients and mid-market clients, they will do everything they can to get involved in that actual networking conversation beyond just the AV over IP, quote unquote, aspect of it.
Well, and my favorite category in AV is still control, even though I suck at it. But the fact that the vast majority of products have network protocols, have network control protocols, and you can control darn near anything with network protocols, network commands. And if you can't, there are a number of manufacturers out there that will get you on and off the ramp. If in other words, if you're looking at IR or you're looking at traditional serial, there are a number of products out there that will get you on the network and then off the network with those protocols. This one is interesting to me, especially as my day job. This is no secret. I work at CTI, an integrator based out of St. Louis. This category of best technical support is increasingly become important. I listen to our technicians, I listen to our engineers, but also listening to our clients, right? The AV users of the world. Technical support is one of those things that is really, really important as those in-house integrators become more and more prevalent, as the folks that are designing systems in-house, whether that is in higher education or it's a Fortune 500, having good technical support is incredibly important and is going to be increasingly so. So this one comes down to Extron S3 support, which has been a player in this market, and they are typically either number one or number two year over year against QSYS and their technical support. So Mr. Scott, who is the best technical support of 2022?
The best voted technical support this year was Extron S3 support. They did beat out QSC. And again, to your point, technical support, we'd like to overlook it quite often because it's not the sexy side of things. But as systems continue to get more and more complicated, you're needing more and more technical support. You're needing guidance. And ask anyone who's ever had a problem in the field, they will stop to install products that have poor technical support. We are all about very high quality technical support. That's what we're looking for. And Extron was voted best in this category again.
Yeah, and one of the things about both of them is they have both made large investments for global support.
Yes.
And that's also becoming more and more important. Both companies, both QSYS and Extron, have support teams quite literally around the world.
Well, and I think they've also realized, manufacturers have realized that it's not a 9-to-5 job anymore. We are seeing tech support needs extend quite often overnight. As so many facilities, that's when the technical teams are in there working on stuff, or that's the only time they can take a system down to do support on it. So yeah, it's fantastic to see that so many manufacturers are investing so heavily into tech support. It's great.
Another aspect that is not necessarily overly sexy because it doesn't involve bright lights and large lenses is education. As this industry gets more and more technical, as it gets more complex, the education part is becoming more and more important. The two companies that were up for best education, again, Extron Online and instructor-led training against Dante Quick Shots. Mr. Scott, who pulled away with the 2022 Best of This?
The best education this year, as voted by AVNation readers, was Dante Quick Shots. They beat over Extron. Again, a fantastic platform, fantastic education that they're offering. And I'm gonna hazard a guess here that part of this is the fact that Dante is still new for a lot of integrators. They're
absolutely.
It sounds bad, but there's a ton of integrators out there that are just starting to get their feet wet into Dante and wrapping their head around how to put, again, AV over the network. Nobody wants you to think that, but it's true, so pay attention. The fact that Dante and Extron and everybody is working so heavily on education is fantastic, and congratulations to Dante for winning this award here.
All right, last one, and it is not necessarily the most exciting one, but it is the one that I've gotten the most texts about asking who won, and each one I respond, well, this will be
It
released.
was me. It was
not you.
It was a write-in. I won. No, I wrote it in.
You did get a couple of write-ins, I will say
Really?
that. I
Shocking.
deleted them. The AV Professional of the Year for 2022 is Nick Milani, coming down to, or Frank Paticala. Nick Milani, of course, is our young man that works at Epiphan, Epiphan Video. Frank Paticala works for the multiply aforementioned Dante and Audinate. So Mr. Scott and I will both say the name at the same time so we don't get it wrong. Maybe. I don't know. All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Frank Palicala. Congratulations, Frank. Congratulations to Nick as well. Great showing by both of you getting to this point. This is always to your point with getting text, this is always the highest talked about award that we do. It brings out the best in people as they're encouraging and voting for the people that they like the most in this. So again, congratulations to Nick to making it to the final round, and of course, congratulations to Frank for getting your name out there, man. Congratulations.
Well, and the other thing is this is, and Matt said this several times, that this is a reader's choice, right? This is you folks, who watch and listen to us, who voted. So getting that out there and is something that Frank has done consistently over the last number of years, being a help. Both of them are incredibly active on socials, and they both help out anybody who asks them for their expertise. They're both heavily active in our friend Chris Netto's AV in the AM, which you haven't checked that out. Check that out on Sundays on the Twitters. But yeah, they're both incredibly helpful. But yeah, congratulations, Frank. Mr. Scott, any last words on this year or as we sign off here?
No, it is incredible to watch in the 3-4 years that we've been doing this, how the awards have changed in the companies that kind of have moved to the forefront in a lot of them, because we see a lot of the same names that not only get nominated but make it into the latter rounds. And we're seeing a shift into software, into network-based products that are jumping ahead of some of the more traditional categories in this. The last thing I'll say is the AV Professional of the Year side is the one that I also get the most excited about, because we're not necessarily just seeing people vote for characters, which is fairly easy to do. We're seeing people vote for others within our community that have gone out and doing everything they can to support the community, to bring other people into our community online, as well as, as you mentioned, just getting out there and helping bring people up, helping share their knowledge base. And that's a huge thing. We could very easily see that award just become this guy is, or this individual is important, and we're gonna raise them up. But it's typically year after year, it's someone who is highly involved in the industry. They're reaching out to other people, and they're really doing everything they can to help promote this industry that we all work in and that we hopefully all love.
Oh yeah, I mean, you look at last year's winner, Lex Evans from USC. You look at Chris, our buddy Chris Netto, Joe Way, and
you just had to mention Joe, didn't you? Gosh.
Sorry.
I love you, Joe. I'm just kidding, buddy.
That's on me. And then Justin Dawson, obviously from Ireland. A number of individuals who, just flat out help people. So,
yep. It's great
all
to
right,
see.
Thank you, guys. Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Scott. I
Thank you,
appreciate
sir.
it. For Mr. Scott, for Mitch Tulin, our fantastic producer, for Patrick, who keeps me lit up and looking somewhat decent, I think. I don't know.
Patrick, you have the hardest job in the world, my friend.
He does.
I'm
He
sorry.
Really does. And he has to listen to me every day.
Also, hardest job in the world.
But thank you, seriously, for continuing to watch, for continuing to listen, and continuing to vote. I mean, this was not unlike any other year. There were thousands of folks of you that voted, who nominated, and then also got the vote out. So we appreciate it. So for Mr. Scott, for all of us here at AVNation, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching this AVNation Reader's Choice Award special.